as you can see, we've got this very, very hard crust, which has been shoved right up against the eardrum. So this is pretty much as deep as you can go. And I think what's happened here is that this patient has used a cotton bud, and he's just basically shoved it in further and further and further until, bang, he's experienced discomfort, hearing loss, and a feeling of fullness. So if you kind of cast your eye to maybe sort of 11, 12 o'clock, you can see that bluish skin, kind of bluish-grey skin, just lurking behind the impacted debris. That's the eardrum, which is very sensitive. And the problem with this case is that, first of all, it's not comfortable for the patient at all for me to be digging around in there, but there's really no other option. This has to be removed. So it's in a very sensitive part of the ear canal, as well as the eardrum being sensitive. The ear canal in that area, the inner 2/3 of the ear canal for most people, is very sensitive to touch. So there's no lovely sort of cushion underneath the skin of fat or cartilage, anything like that. So it can't really be prodded or poked. It's just very thin skin, around 1/10 of a millimeter thick, roughly, onto bone. So if you scrape against it, if you prod it, if you apply too much pressure, the patient is going to jump, which is bad news if you're lurking near the eardrum with a metal suction probe. So we've got to be very careful here. The other problem is that this plug, it's been pushed down against the eardrum, and then the patient has applied sort of half-heartedly some drops. And what that's done is it's partially softened it, and it's, this debris has then sort of seeped into the recesses and then rehardened. So just before your ear canal meets the eardrum, you have the ear. It's not a smooth plane, in other words. So the ear canal doesn't attach to the eardrum perpendicularly, if that's a word. So it goes down and then up again. So what you have are these recesses or trenches or depressions, fosses, whatever you want to call it. And the plug is then anchored in those recesses. So that makes the whole thing more difficult. Additionally, there's some fungal growth there as well. So that's what the kind of white furry stuff is. That's it's probably an aspergillus type fungus. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. So what I'm doing here, as opposed to